And welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector podcast, a 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I am Alex Midway, and we've been gone for a while, and previously, in a previous administration, it was, you can go away from your house for a while, come back, nothing's different. This time, it's essentially Project X is being filmed.
Yep. So, we were not deported or picked up by, armed military in and around certain occupied cities. Bad news, I asked the bed, and we did not have a Tuesday podcast, and that one's on me.
Yeah, and also, we did not win the lottery, which is the number one reason this thing will get canceled one day if I ever hit it, and you'll never hear from me again. I'll be on a yacht with Bezos talking about how to carve up some pores.
Do they really? I mean, why is fresh water even a right?
Like, do they really need 2 full days off? Like, let's get rid of this weekend thing.
I was out Tuesday wedding venue shopping, which sounds just as awesome as you think it is.
Nothing like looking at places to get wedded.
Yep. So you and I have talked about our general vibe we're going with. So saw a couple comparable places that looked like they were nice. I think we got an idea. And then one of them we happened to mention to the lady helping us, where we have a appointment set up at this place, and she gave us that like pause face. We're like, "Ooh, buddy, I don't know if you're gonna want this." I was like, "Well, we have an appointment set up." Met with a second lady, said the same thing, and she went, "Ooh, you might want to cancel." I was like, "Now we have to go." Downtown. It is a wedding venue in the same way that it is a nightclub.
Excellent.
And not the you remember Heaven and Hell?
Yes.
Okay, you remember how upstairs it was all heavenly and lots of Bon Jovi and stuff? Yep. This wasn't like that. So
it's memorable. Sounds like it's very different.
So walk in, everything's sticky. It is definitely just a club. And I was like, there's this smell here, and I know that smell. I can't place it. And then during the tour, we walked past a back room with about 75 hookahs. Not washed, but off to the side to eventually get there.
Like a cast iron pan, you got to season them.
Yeah, these things were seasoned. You could smell the herpes right on those tips.
Yeah. Like a foie broth. You never want to change the water to hookah. It just keeps adding more flavor.
Yep. So, honestly, best part of Tuesday was that walk back to the car. And as soon as we got in, I was like, I love it. I think this is us, babe. And then she didn't talk to me for 10 minutes. So, pretty cool.
And you spent the next 3 hours talking about all the places that you went to.
Yeah, exactly.
We can say these things because she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Occasionally she does, in which case this is not true. She got really upset and then immediately figured out I was joking, and then just called me an a-hole for a while.
You wasn't wrong.
Nope. But I told her that when we first met, so it's not my fault she didn't take me seriously.
I don't understand it. Like, for centuries, this is what guys have been forced to do. Like, most guys aren't exactly into the whole napkin placement and what kind of fork you're going to be using. So, ladies, I don't know. If your man is telling you that he's super excited about it, it might be a sexless marriage in the end, or he might be faking it really well. But no guy wants to talk about napkin placement.
Now, I'm trying really hard to get into this. I understand it's not my day. I'm just kind of there being told what to do, and I'm fine with that. It's cool. There are a couple things I got a little excited about. I had one of my demands were met. I said I wanted a Orange Crush bar, specifically for there, and she was like, "Yeah." So this is the end of your opinions, and I said, "Great, I can make this work."
That idea didn't make the 53-man roster. It's on the practice squad at best. That's in the maybe pile.
Nope, that one was approved. That was stamped. That was my one thing I wanted. So we're on for
Jersey, the idea got. That nameplate's on it with Velcro. It can be torn off at any time.
No, it can't. This sweet orange tattoo I'm going to get over my chest that we talked about.
Fair enough. Let's get this thing rolling because there's a lot of things happening. And there's tonight, football's back, and we missed a bunch of things. But with football coming back, one of the things we do want to do is over here at the JWSP podcast, our flags are at half-mast because Stream East, the number one pirating site, went down. And if you're just finding out about that now, just understand this is how I felt when I learned about Silk Road after Silk Road was shut down.
Yeah, it's sad, and but it honestly, it brings up a great point we talked about off air. If Ukraine really wanted to get more support from the U.S., they should focus more on streaming illegally NFL, games. I mean, honestly, during last season, I didn't say one bad thing about Russia.
Like, you really want to get people on the side of Ukraine? Like, if that data center gets stuck by a rocket in the fourth quarter of, like, a Sunday night football game, like, there'll be pickets and torches outside the White House come Monday morning.
I mean, what was that old Roman saying about give them wine and games to watch?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, as peasants, I'm demanding this. Don't make me get 6 different streaming services when Ukraine could just illegally stream these for me.
I do love it how the Republicans back in the day, like, I ain't watching football ever again. Like, dude, you're the most undereducated voting bloc there is. Like, you're coming back to this thing. Like, shut up.
Yeah, these are also the same people that want a white America. Have fun with that, NFL.
We'll make 2 different leagues. Like, I ain't watching the all white one, I'll tell you that much. Christian McCaffrey's just an outlier, homie.
Was it Shane Gillis that was that was like Jackie Robinson ended the any point of white people ever being cool ever again.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like oh, here comes Whitey McGillicuddy up to the mound. He can throw a ball 44 miles an hour, and all of a sudden they're like, holy jeez. Like, well, there goes that guy ever being my hero.
But if one thing white people still dominate, it's being a-holes. And I don't know if anybody else heard about Peter Cezarek, the Polish CEO who decided that he literally was going to steal a hat from a baby.
Yeah, aside from the fact that, this is literally that stealing candy from a baby thing. I'll let you get into it. Did you see his statement?
The first statement? Yes.
Oh, was there a second?
Yeah, he actually did finally come out and apologize. And he said the first statement wasn't him. So he shaggy defends the first statement. And for our listeners, if you haven't read the statement, please, you know what? I'll leave a link in the show notes. But it's essentially him saying, F that kid. If he was faster, he would have been able to grab that hat. It's like, to the victor go the spoils is essentially what he's saying. And then
he pulled the capitalism thing on him.
Yeah. They crucified that man, and he's like, I really messed up. Like, I messed up. And he was, I don't know how close he was to saying I was hacked for the first statement, but he was essentially saying, like, that wasn't me.
I didn't see that one. I saw the one where he just said, instead of apologizing, he's said life comes fast, and if he was faster than me, he would have gotten it. Also, please remember that defaming a public figure like myself is requires legal action. I was like, this guy is going to head the FDA like next week.
Relax, guy. I'll sue you.
Yeah. Oh, so enjoy your new place in the Wall of Shame. You are a garbage human.
Like, I do like how he's like, you know what? I stole a hat from a child. It's widely documented. Like, F that kid. Like, I'm gonna lean into this thing. Like, oh boy, did he have a change of heart.
Yeah, turns out getting doxxed isn't as fun as capitalism said it would be.
No. But moving right along, let's do the old Tesla ticker. Last time we left you guys 345. went down to as low as 328 and has been slowly creeping up like a herpes infestation. 335 yesterday, 338 today. The drop makes sense to me. The climb back up really doesn't. We're in the last month right now of the EV tax credit. That's going away. But so far, I mean, it's gone maybe, 2% drop, and it made back half of that again. And Elon Musk has gone ahead and changed his logic. And no longer does he say that FSD is right around the corner and FSD and robotaxis are going to do it. Now he's claiming that Optimus the robot, the same robot that just 2 months ago, the only thing it could do was fill popcorn buckets, is now going to be, he's saying it's going to be 80% of Tesla's wealth, and is going to make Tesla a 25 trillion with a T dollar company. And these are actual numbers. These are not exaggerations. This is what he's essentially pushing out to the stockholders.
Yeah, I did see something pop up today where he was predicting something about like over 100,000 of these self-driving vehicles by next year, which is starting to sound like that Trump thing. Or like, I don't know, 2 weeks-ish.
Oh, we've raised trillions of dollars in tariffs?
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to let go of that one. It's coming in 2 weeks, and anybody who tells you otherwise is a hoax.
Yeah. I won the election, $2 trillion in tariffs. I'm 6'1", 215 pounds and 4.8% body fat.
I thought he said it was like $8 or $11 trillion we've made this month. You're like, people are buying it, I guess.
Like, whatever.
I guess numbers are a construct.
Like, I saw a poll that they came out with, like, people who supported the whole, like, sending National Guardsmen to the cities. And surprise, surprise, like 82%, like, no, it was like 92% of Democrats were against it. And like 86% of Republicans were for it. Like, how bad do you think these cities are? Like, they're out there wearing orange reflective vest, weed whacking, homie. Like, it's not a high crime area.
Yeah, the other thing to remember is those giant cities that we're all so terrified of is where all of the country's money comes from. At this point, you sound like petulant children who are complaining and still expecting daddy to pay for it.
And the fact that they were up in arms, like, if Joe Biden ever federalizes the National Guard, that's going to be the biggest overreach. Like, cool, I'm going to send guys from Ohio to D.C. Like, come on.
We're taking the highest murder per capita states, all their National Guard, and sending them to places with 40% down in crime. It's just say you hate black people. Just say it.
A hurricane that's about to wreck the state next to me, but I need to go ahead and stop a shoplifting in D.C.
Yeah. Oh, I hate every one of them.
Well, let's keep it in the same column of disappointing news and give another Ukraine update. It's Russia continues to keep launching missiles, drones, and they keep targeting Ukrainian energy infrastructure. And we're past the 50-day window for sanctions. And did you see the presser in the White House where the Polish reporter was talking to Trump?
No.
So he's sitting down at the White House and he's having his thing, and the Polish reporter comes out. He's like, "Why haven't you done more against Putin?" He's like, "Who told you I haven't done anything? How do you know I haven't done anything?" Like, "I've done a lot of things. I've done all kinds of things, great things." Like, no, dude, you haven't.
Buddy, you just have to follow the weave, and eventually you'll just get to the part where he's right.
So we've discussed all this in the show. Like, at this point, I mean, if you've listened to 2 episodes, you kind of know. Like, Putin just keeps selling Trump, like, yeah, tomorrow I quit. Like, it's the guy quitting cigarettes telling you every day, he's like, "Honey, I swear to God, like, I'm done with this. Like, this isn't a part of me. After this weekend is when I'm going to start being good." And it's still like, we know what's happening, but apparently the White House doesn't. So I went out of my way and I was like, you know what? Let me find out. Let me put on these Trump goggles and find out what these people are seeing. And I went on the Fox News websites. And on there I saw Besson. And he says, on the topic of Ukraine and the negotiations, like, "I think everything's on the table. President Putin, since the historic meeting in Anchorage," because you got to plug the Trump thing in there, "since the phone call, when the European leaders and President Zelensky were at the White House the following Monday, has done the opposite of following through on what he indicated he wanted to do. This is Putin. And as a matter of fact, he has, in a despicable manner, increased the bombing campaign. So I think President Trump, all options are on the table, and I think we'll be examining those very closely this week, because it's been 24 hours and we're kind of past that deadline.
Refresh my memory, isn't Bessent the one that was like, tariffs are the answer?
Yes, until they weren't.
Made up a guy to cite in his numerous books?
Uh-huh.
Well, he sounds like the perfect person to go deal with a dictator with a god complex.
I mean, the people that we have at all these positions, we'll get more into the nepotism that is running rampant. And I get it. Winner go the spoils. But even in the first administration for Trump, like, he started out with, like, Rex Tillerson. Like, that was a titan of industry. Like, General Mattis. Like, those are dudes who knew what they were doing. Like, this time, it just S-heels. Like, anyone who's got scabs on their knees, that's who they're recruiting.
So, this will weave back, don't worry. So one of my ideas for the wedding was, instead of dealing with all the seat charts, BS nonsense, we just get everybody's name on a ping pong ball and get one of those bingo rollers, and it's all at random. And I feel like Trump just wrote down the worst people he could think of, and we're like, I don't know who's going to run the FBI. Like, Cash Patel. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this.
There is plenty of rhyme or reason. It's the people who said they'll do anything that he tells them to. Like, that's the number one qualifier.
I cannot wait to see what cabinet position Kid Rock ends up in next month.
Secretary of Defense when Hegseth goes to rehab.
All right, guys. First thing we're doing is bombing Bud Light.
So, continuing right along, like, I wanted to learn more about this. Like, I wanted to find out the same briefings that the president gets, the intelligence briefs. So I continued to, like, look at Fox News. And another article was, experts have told Fox News Digital last week that the attack, the one that happened on Ukraine, could be a signal that Putin is utilizing diplomacy to buy himself more time to advance his goals and continue to attack Ukraine, all while avoiding secondary sanctions the Trump administration has threatened to impose. Like, are they using the same intelligence service that Colin Powell, like, was told there's WMDs in Iraq? Like, did we get so bad that the only shade, like, of people in the actual intelligence community is now the same color as mayonnaise? Like, we just suck at this. Like, I'm not in the intelligence game, and I can tell you that's exactly what he's been doing.
Well, I mean, you saw, like, they're giving him his briefings with, like, pictures and stuff, and, like, the giant writing, like they're books you would read a preschooler. So, I mean, you know, let's say, for sake of argument, we still have the same intelligence. It's now just going, like, through the telephone game, only you're getting dumbed down instead of newer, you know, new information added, till eventually it's just like, the guy in no suit is bad.
Like, that's insane. Like, we just blew up that one boat outside of Venezuela. Like, oh yeah, there was a bad guy in there. Like, says who? Like, he just drone striked a national. Like, yeah, we can do that. Like, what are they gonna do?
Well, I mean, it's a fair point, but you're like, even if they were drug runners, like, don't you have to, like, it's like, if I'm gonna steal something from a store, you have to let me get outside, or it's not stealing. I'm just walking around with it in my hand. You have to, like, hit our waters before we can, you know, I guess, judge, jury, and executioner you.
You kind of have to be the security guard for that store as well. You can't be showing up from your Circuit City day and trying to go police outside of Best Buy. Like, they're not interchangeable. Your Paul Blart, like, privileges stop when you leave the store. Like, you can't keep doing this.
Yeah, like, if I'm walking around Tower Records with a CD in my hand, and then the guy from CVS runs over and shoots me in the back of the head. None of this is a thing.
We're making it a thing. So, let me go ahead and say that we finally have some good news. All this time, Trump administration's like, apparently, like I said, the intelligence are like, we don't know what's going on. Putin's trying to negotiate. He wants to do it. And then he bombs another city like, oh no, I don't like this. And then Putin calls him. He's like, we talked, really good conversation. We're back on, no sanctions. And then he does it again. So President Vladimir Putin has said Russia is willing to fight to achieve all of its objectives if Ukraine does not agree to a deal. So he's legit come out and said, he's like, we will make this place an effing parking lot. Like, I don't care. And I just can't wait for the presser when the White House is out there justifying it, why they're still not doing sanctions. Like, he's got videos of my boy peeing on kids. Like, we'll be honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, Russia came out and said, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? They're like, if you think Israel's the only one with video. Like, all right, well, the Kremlin still thinks they're Nazis, so we can't have that. We can only send those guys. We only allow that when they're called, like, Patriot Front.
Yeah. We're gonna send them some the same thing we're sending to all the schools, some thoughts and prayers, boys. Best of luck. That ought to take down a couple Shahed drones.
No, good. Should have turned in that star for a cross, Zelensky.
Yeah. So we also have a little bit more clarity coming out as well. I mean, Putin's apparently just, after that meeting in Alaska, like his balls, he needs a much bigger cart to wheel him around in, because after he had that, he hung out with Xi and Modi from India, and they all just embraced in a bro hug, essentially just telling Trump he's not part of the cool kids anymore. And Putin has come out and he said, on the topic of having a meeting with Zelensky, he's like, I've never ruled out possibility of such meeting, but is there any point? Let's see. And he also added that any meeting that required preparations to yield result, and that Zelensky could always come down to Moscow if he wants to have a conversation. And if you're curious to see how that trip might end, just go ahead and Google Alexander Navalny coming back to Russia. Oh, what happened to Yevgeny Prigozhin after he's told by Putin? There's absolutely no harsh feelings between the two of them.
I'm assuming they went home and admitted defeat, and then just spent the rest of their days hanging out with their family and just living the good life.
Navalny was moved around prisons until he was mysteriously passed away a couple of days before the Russian election, and Prigozhin's plane got hit by a rocket. Completely unrelated things.
Blame Hamas?
Might as well. Said something against Israel, so down you go, guys.
It's like that Peter Griffin farting in the elevator thing, where it's just like, it was you.
It was you. I mean, it works now.
Yeah.
But let's get a little bit of continuity. Last time we left you guys was a while back. We had a little thing going on at the CDC. We had the firing. We got rid of an actual doctor. And 4 other people came on. They also quit as well. And there's been some developments. But on the bright side, we do have a new interim chief of the CDC. His name is Jim O'Neill. And I thought it was, O'Neill. Every time I hear about O'Neill, I think about the dad from, Married with Children, Ed O'Neill.
Fair.
Would have made a much better CDC chief than this guy, because...
100% agree.
Have you read anything about our boy here?
I haven't.
Absolutely zero experience as a doctor. But what he has done, he was the managing director at Peter Thiel's hedge fund, Clarium Capital. He also went on to run the Thiel Foundation, where he launched Thiel Fellowship and Breakout Labs. Later, he became a partner at Mipril Capital, Peter Thiel's late-stage investment fund. This Peter Thiel fella is showing up a whole lot more in our storyline, and he is getting a lot of people that owe a lot of things to him in very high-end positions.
I'm starting to think, that old, like, if you have you can go back in time and do one thing, and it's always kill Hitler as a baby. Yeah. It might be nuke PayPal before they ever actually hit the States.
Like, you know what? I'm fine with just sticking the cash. Like, moving currency digitally, I get it, but Bitcoin would have come around. Like, I can live without PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and all that. I'm going to make that sacrifice. I'm in.
Yeah, like our old drug dealer used to say, cash only.
Yeah. Cash or crypto became the actual thing that he said, but I mean, that's what it's for.
May have quit that before crypto became a thing, but who am I to judge?
Yeah, why do we keep like designing new like counterproof $20 and $100 bills if everyone's just moving to digital currency anyway? Like, I don't get that.
I 100% thought you were about to go, why aren't we doing drugs anymore?
Follow-up question.
With this administration, tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah, I lose a bunch of money on this tonight's game. I might go turn into some marijuana. So, in case you guys are keeping track, the people that we currently have in the administration, the guy negotiating the Ukraine peace deal ran a hedge fund. The person in charge of the Department of Education helped run a wrestling operation. The guy in charge of Continue.
And stood by her man as he molested all sorts of ring boys over a 40-year career.
Well, now they're divorced.
That's not. If you're going to give Linda McMahon flowers, let's give them all. Let's give them the whole bouquet.
I mean, standing at the scene of a car wreck as more and more cars pile up isn't exactly an accomplishment you get a medal for.
All right, I guess that's true. Never mind. You only get one flower for being an awful person, Linda McMahon.
Battered wife syndrome. You can't walk away from that relationship. She enabled her husband to keep cheating on her by staying there and offering zero consequences. Like, that's not an accomplishment.
I can't wait till the book comes out where she was helping groom these people and she's just another Maxwell.
And then she gets elevated in her position.
Yeah.
So, did you know about the guy running the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy?
I do know him.
Uh-huh. Did you know he was an effing lumberjack?
Did not know that one.
Now he's in charge of planes. Like, I'm not saying that somewhere out in the woods of Oregon, there's not a Rhodes Scholar turned lumberjack, but I'm saying the chances are really low, and even almost like Powerball level low, that Sean Duffy was a Rhodes Scholar.
This is what I don't get, right? If I just start claiming I'm a doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody complains and I get arrested, it's malpractice. But evidently, to run doctors, you don't have to do anything. And I'm assuming with air travel, there's some sort of certification course you need. Like, we're not just, like, oh, could you drive a truck? Here's the keys to this Boeing 747. How, like...
I mean, that's government interference. That's slowing down capitalism. Like, all these hoops you have to jump through. And when we're laying off all these other people, we're going to need to fill the ranks relatively quickly. And we can't do that with all these intrusive tests.
Well, I know the guy, well, at least in the blue states, the guy running like cooking at Waffle House still needs some sort of certification to become a babysitter.
We're gonna get rid of that too. That's
next. And there's no way he's watching more children than can fit in a plane at one time.
I mean, again, the day is young.
We miss you, Pete.
God, bring back Buttigieg. That guy was awesome.
Still is.
So let's talk about a little bit more about Jim O'Neill and why he's the perfect hire right now to replace an actual doctor. Because he's previously suggested that the FDA should speed approvals by letting drugs hit the market before proving effectiveness. So again, before we have any sort of study where they tell you this might cause constipation, bloated stomach, and possibly kill you, just go ahead and put it out there and let everyone else run the tests. And they'll let the drug companies make a whole lot more money. And he's also championshiped unproven cures like, I don't know, ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine to protect against COVID-19. So that's the guy who's currently running the CDC. But the good news is, him and RFK, they're both on the same page.
This is PETA's fault.
What?
They had to make such a damn stink about testing on rabbits and mice that now we're just not going to test and just release it out to humans.
Yeah. I mean, we can't put the bunny. We can definitely put a couple of people in the general populace.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I understand we're in a part of the this timeline where we're making measles great again and whatnot. What could this really do to hurt us?
If you ask the HHS communication director Andrew Nixon, when they're asked about the whole shakeup of the CDC, his response, and this should tell you exactly where the administration stands: Secretary Kennedy has been clear. The CDC has been broken for a long time. Restoring it as the world's most trusted guardian of public health will take sustained reform and more personnel changes, like get rid of what we define as public health. From his first day in office, he pledged to check his assumptions at the door, and he asked everyone to do the same. That commitment to evidence-based science, yeah, he said that without laughing, is why in just 7 months he and the HHS team have accomplished more than any health secretary in history to fight to end chronic disease and epidemic and make America healthy again. And technically, if these people die, then they don't have a disease. So I guess that counts in the plus column.
Yeah, I didn't think just murdering people and then not counting those numbers counted. But I mean, in that case, I think you're right.
We're no longer given proper jobs reports. We're not saying who's sick anymore because the more we count, the worse it looks. So we don't need that negativity in our life.
How did we get convinced that some 20-year heroin junkie knows more about health than doctors? He's not a doctor.
It's the fact that we have a guy who's been convicted of 34 felonies as a president. And he's bankrupted casinos, and we view him, well, some people view him as an excellent businessman. Like, it's upside down day at the U.S.
But even as a criminal, it's not even an awesome, 34 felonies, but that must have been one awesome fist fight. Like, got methed up and fought, 4 cops.
They
right?
call me the scene from Heat.
Yeah, protecting my junkie friend from going to rehab.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So,
I can't wait. I cannot wait for history books to eventually cover this, if we still have books one day.
Speaking of history, and if you think that was bad, we're going to take this party down to the giant Petri dish experiment of 2025 that we consider the state of Florida. And let's zoom in right now at a news conference outside of Tampa with Governor Ron DeSantis and Surgeon General Joseph A. Ladapo, I don't know how it is, but what he said was that every vaccine mandate is wrong and it drips with disdain and slavery. And he called the rollback, because they ended vaccine mandates, the right thing to do. And he also followed up with saying, "Who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body?" Like, I don't know. The Surgeon General?
So I'm guess that means Florida's back open to the abortion pill then, right?
No, that one we're canceling out. Yeah, we can't do that. That's going against God.
Oh, is this guy hiding behind the cross for his explanations?
It's a black guy comparing vaccines to slavery. So yeah, he's definitely gonna hide behind the cross. Like, the fact that they picked him to say he's like, hey, what's this gonna do? It's like, it's gonna move me to a bigger house. Like, fair enough, I'll shill for you.
You know what? Not gonna say it. But you know what? Great for them for being so woke to get a black doctor to just absolutely spew witchcraft all over Florida.
I mean, technically they brought back DEI, so glass half full.
Well, way to be woke, DeSantis.
But all this stuff, the fact that he said, who am I to tell you what to put in your body? Dude, that's literally your job description. And that's got me thinking, instead of complaining about this and standing on the sidelines and just, again, complaining because I can't say the other words that I want to say because we're kid-friendly, why don't we get government jobs? People will come up to me sanitation technician or supervisor, Alex, Like, my trash hasn't been picked up in 3 weeks now. It's starting to fester. And I could just reply back with, such is God's will, my child. Like, if it gets picked up, it gets picked up. I'm not going to interfere with a holy vision. And that's it. We just essentially sleep in and just cite God for not doing our jobs.
Yeah. Every complaint, you can go, well, have you been praying hard enough?
Like, my child, I sent over thoughts and prayers yesterday, but it seems they're taking a while to get to you. You should also subsidize them with your own thoughts and prayers.
The whole God's will thing is infuriating to me. Like when measles kills a bunch of people, and it's going to, and we're making polio great again, and people are going to be like, look at all these dead kids, and they're still going to go, this Jesus called them back. This was their time. Whatever you do, don't look any harder into this or blame me. This is God's will, and it is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I do like how they're changing all these laws, and like, yeah, we need to stop all this. We need to stop all this. Like, but when it comes to gun violence, like, nah, man, laws don't work. We can't do any of that.
Like I said, David Cross.
So
maybe God needs all those young virgins to give to the terrorists.
It's gonna have a whole lot of them, because let me just get into the whole thing that's going on there. Like, the Florida law mandates that students must be vaccinated against polio, diphtheria, rubella, pertussis, mumps, and tetanus. And I mean, all these seem good, but they also allow exemptions for religious and medical reasons. That one I just don't get, but whatever. If your God wants you to get polio or your child to get polio, like, maybe it's a bad God, but that's between you. Getting rid of those, however, would require lawmaker approval. So that's the benefit there. So for now, kids are protected against all those things down there, because it's going to take a lot more than just a hack surgeon general coming out and saying, I'm stopping it. But the Florida Department of Health could immediately target 4 vaccines that mandate under its own rules. And these vaccines are for chickenpox, hepatitis B, Haemophilus influenza type B, and a pneumococcal vaccine. And as you digest all that, let me tell you what the pneumococcal vaccine does. It protects you against pneumonia, meningitis, and sepsis. Like, and do you know that because I didn't know what the PCV was, so I Googled it. You know what the first thing came up when I was Googling it?
Not at all.
Is the pneumococcal vaccine really necessary? First suggested result. And right now, we are all living on borrowed time.
Well, one, I feel like we've had a lot of stress and anxiety over STD tests we took, because things are going to get way worse without the sex. And I'm no longer fearing raw milk from the last episode.
That's the least of your worries.
Yeah, I did see something about there was a small measles outbreak from an unvaccinated kid, maybe in the 90s at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And it spread to a couple hundred kids across like 4 states. This is Florida with Disney World. And I didn't fact check it, but what I read said Disney World has 50 million visitors a year.
Yeah.
We're all getting it, buddy. Like, remember how masks were slavery during COVID?
Well, I can tell you that I personally am not a pure blood, as some would call it, and I have all my vaccinations, so I'm not getting S, okay? I've got all these things. They gave me immunized me against anthrax when I was still in, so I'm golden. You're all going to be glowing green. I'm going to be doing just fine.
Yeah, and little back note on me. I hate doctors. I hate the medical system. I am a big believer in that old redneck, if I can sleep, it'll just be better tomorrow. Yeah. And even I've got all these immunizations, man. Like, it's...
like,
all of your children should be taken from you.
Yeah, that mindset's all fun and games in your 20s, but as you get older and skipping those immunizations and you start to get more and more sick and you can't recover just as well, like, you know what? Maybe I will take the shot next time I'm stopping by the Piggly Wiggly.
Buddy, I sneezed and thought I broke my back like 2 days ago.
Like, I don't need that pain. Like, when the flu knocks me down for a solid 3 days, like, you know what? I'll take my chances with a vaccine. Like, we're good. Like, what are they going to do? Make me more autistic? Like, good luck.
I'll have to remember that when you're calling me a sissy for not meeting you at a bar because of my little tum-tum ache.
Oh, no. Tum-Tums is wide open. I'll stop. I'll drive to your house and pour raw milk down your throat.
Almost did it.
Yeah, no. I had to stop myself. Maybe a little bit more editing.
Well, raw milk, from what I've read, will make you throw up essentially like a transparent sort of film around your vomit. And speaking of transparency, the most transparent administration in history still wants no part of Uncle Jeffy and his little black book of kid touchers.
Excellent transition.
Yeah, you love that?
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks. So back in July, when Trump famously asked, "Are you still talking about Epstein?" The whole country lost their mind, and Congress tried to rush a vote to get all the files released. But old MAGA Mikey Johnson decided to knock off a day early and declare summer officially started before we could try and get that vote in. You remember that?
Yeah, they literally ended work earlier than they should, went on like a 2-month vacation, probably are going to come back, give themselves another raise for a job well done, and be like, well, these goldfish aren't going to remember anything about the kid diddling when we return, right? Like, whoa.
Yeah, ditching work a day early to make sure we don't learn anything else about child molesters seems wild, but Mikey Johnson does wear a crucifix around his neck, so I'm assuming it's all like morally right. And it's
Good
just in mysterious ways I don't understand because I'm not praying hard enough. You jackass.
Sorry, it's not clear to you because you're an atheist.
Yeah, well, I'm glad Jehovah answered his prayer with telling him to leave work early.
When in doubt, just clock out. When you do it, it's cool. But when I do it, I get fired. Like, F you, man.
It turns out that was what Jesus would do.
Yeah.
So luckily for the rest of us non-cult members, Republican Rep. Massey and Democratic Rep. Khanna decided to make it a working vacation, organizing a meeting with 8 Epstein victims with the House Oversight Committee, directly followed by the survivors holding a press conference in front of the Capitol, calling for all of the files to be released.
Did you see that presser?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear the fact that Trump sent jets to fly over that presser to drown him out?
Yep. Do you know how wild it is? Like, at some point, everybody's going to get out of the foggy, like, fever dream we're in and be like, they were really, really trying to silence rape victims.
The amount of outrage is like, Joe Biden brushed up close to one of his granddaughters. Like, this guy's a pedophile. Like, Trump flies on a plane with, like, records of him there, like, well, he's a businessman.
You remember when they were calling for impeachment because Obama wore a khaki suit? Can you imagine if the black guy flew planes over pedophile victims trying to tell their story?
That's insane.
Oh, my God. Well, at least it's about Jesus and not race.
Yeah.
Sorry. Getting a little heated there. So, since Trump's favorite little horse jockey, MAGA Mike, clearly can't be trusted to do the right thing, Massey and Khanna teamed up, crossing aisles, and started a discharge petition, which can bypass Johnson's roadblocks with a simple majority, 218 signatures from Congress, which will bring the bill directly to the floor without having to get signed on by MAGA Mike.
You might be very into this. Honestly, I'm betting against. If we're taking action, I'm saying somehow they kill it.
Of course they are, but you have to make them work to do it, so then they can be asked questions about it and deflect how this is Joe Biden's fault later.
Are you still asking about that?
Yeah, you still asking about this guy, the scumbag? Stop asking about the missing 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, this is one I found a little weird. So there's 435 seats for representatives in Congress, right? 219 are held by Republicans, 212 by Democrats. 4 of them are vacant, which doesn't seem like it should be a thing, but somehow it is, and everyone's just okay with it. I don't know why.
This could be our seats.
Buddy, I've told you, I've always wanted to run. And now that you don't have to be qualified for anything, I might be your guy.
Let's just start spewing hate as soon as I get done here.
Exactly.
Look like Bruce Willis in Die Hard with that sign. Like, new president, like a new member of Congress just elected.
I hate everybody except for Israel.
Yeah.
So assuming all of the blue team still hates Chomos, Massey will still need to convince 5 of his buddies to cross that aisle to open up Pandora's box, which I cannot wait for. Why is it 5 and not 3, you ask? I'm glad you did. Because even with 4 vacant spots in the House, they still count those seats as needing to be filled, so you still have to get to 218. Rules are stupid. Hate it, but is what it is. Now, Massey has already roped in 3 Republicans to join him, and they aren't the 3 that I would have guessed. Have you seen the 3 that joined in?
No. Refresh my memory.
All right. So first off is Nancy Mace, who was sexually assaulted a couple years back and cannot wait to remind you about it and make it about her. But you know what? She's joining the blue on this side, so we'll let it go. Lauren Beetlejuice Boebert. And I originally had a whole thing written up about how she was actually married to a sex offender, but it turns out he wasn't charged for doing the cool, can you tell what time it is on my watch joke? And then the one I expected the least, the real wild card and crown jewel of this show, MTG.
Wait, going back to Boebert, didn't her husband whip out his BP in front of some kids?
Yeah, he was doing, supposedly, what I had always heard was, at some bowling alley, he did the old check my watch deal where you pull your penis over your wrist and ask somebody to see if they can tell the time. And evidently they were a little bit younger than 18. But according to my Googling, it looks like he is not on the sex registry list. So either Colorado is just bad at it, or, you know what? No, I refuse to believe that didn't happen.
Does it work on 21-year-olds? Can I give that one a shot next time I'm on Bumble?
Yeah, just make it your profile pic and, see what comes up.
You just need more cultured ladies for it to work. Like, who the F does that work with? That's like I thought yelling out of your friend's car at chicks were like the low end, but like whipping your hog out on your wrist and be like, hey, check this out. Like, oh my God, I don't need my panties anymore. Like, you're so hot. Like, how does that work?
Maybe he's huge and, doesn't have a personality.
Whatever. I mean, I'm the single one. He's married with kids, so I'm clearly doing something wrong. But
divorce now. And if you are feeling bad about yourself, Jason's name is spelled Jayson. So
Jason?
Yeah. So
of course it is.
Yeah, you're still winning, Alex.
Yeah. And for the record, put this down right now. Again, bet time. Nancy Mace, 11th hour, pulls out.
Yeah, I can 100% see that.
Yeah, just punches back to the red team.
But extra bet on top, then holds a press conference about her sexual assault the entire time and how she would never want to put these girls through this.
You take a shot every time you hear the words I. Like, and I have brain disease. I am now the HHS secretary.
Sounds like I am going to be hungover enough to go to a doctor to see if they can hook an IV to me.
Here's your Clorox injection.
Like here, just have this horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
Now, to show you how transparent the administration truly is, and definitely not to get people to talk about anything else, especially about how they're bullying reps and threatening them not to sign this discharge petition. Jeez. The House Oversight Committee on Tuesday dumped 33,000 pages of Epstein files. The problem is the vast majority of that is already public information. Rep. Massey said it's like 1% of what they possess, and 97% of it has already been released. I'm afraid this is going to be like Pam Bondi's binders.
Now, you glanced over a part where the White House is threatening people, and I think we need to touch base in that one, because that is effing huge.
Well, we'll get to that. Pin in that.
All right.
It's coming. So, Marge, being on our side now, you know what? I don't think I hate her as much as I used to. Large Marge, never to be shown up by anybody anywhere, threatened to say every damn name on the House floor if the survivors are willing to give them the list that they are compiling just with them, since nobody else is helping them. So, love her or hate her, you know this fine Republican definitely has the balls to do this.
I mean, space lasers or not, I mean, that's a pretty smooth move. And the reason she's doing that is essentially if the survivors put out this list, they're going to be sued to all oblivion, and that thing's never going to come out. So that's why she's actually offered it up. And if she goes through with it, again, good move on her part.
Yeah, and evidently, so this is one of the big things is these billionaires that are doing this, sue them into homelessness, never let them ever, live their life. But evidently there's some law preventing anybody from suing you if you're in Congress and just tossing these names out there. Evidently they're protected by those doors that couldn't hold back those January 6th. Well, never mind.
I mean, the president's allowed to do anything by the Supreme Court ruling, so why not?
Unless it's in the National Guard, because only Nancy Pelosi can do that, except for now.
Well, the rules changed.
Yeah.
Now we have a strong alpha male.
Yeah. So as we just glossed over a little bit there, the powers that be in the administration are bullying and threatening everybody over this bipartisan bill. Supposedly, with even Trump himself making calls directly to GOP members who signed, or are thinking about signing, according to Massey. In fact, according to a White House official, anybody signing the petition will be seen as committing a hostile act against the Trump administration. And on the off chance you're wondering if Massey might fall under the pressure of the White House, check this cool quote he did. The question is, why is the Speaker of the House engaged in that? It seems to be out of character for him to cover up for sex trafficking ring, but that's what's happening right now. So I love that he's doubling down.
Like, that's insane. Like, not even Bushy, when they were pushing, to go to war in Iraq, yeah, you all have to vote. He never came out and he said, if you guys don't vote for us to invade this country, I'm going to take that personally. The fact that this guy's like, hey, man, I just want to see who's on that sex offenders list. He's like, don't you effing dare. What's wrong? Why can't I take a look at that? He's like, I will take that as a personal slight if you see that list. Why would that be?
No, it's not a personal slight. It's an act of aggression. He is framing this to people like he is preparing for nuclear war.
I mean, we might go to it sooner or later.
Do you think he would nuke a country just to get us to talk about something else for a few weeks?
It would be plural. It would be more than one, and it definitely wouldn't be Israel. He would call Bibi. He's like, who do you want off the map? He's like, Ukraine. Fair enough. I'll appease two people.
Can't wait to blame this on Iran. Boop.
Same.
So Mike Johnson did have a retort. He said would not put much stock into what Rep. Thomas Massey says, adding, I would describe virtually everything Thomas Massey says related to this issue as meaningless. So honestly, right now, we're just waiting on two more Republicans to do the right thing. So we are screwed.
Yeah. I do like how the responses are completely ignoring what the reality is. No, that's a lie. That didn't happen.
Yeah, and they're not even saying that. They're just like, I'm just not going to answer these questions. Somehow that's a better stance than I don't condone raping children. What he's saying is meaningless right now. Please look at my cross.
I'm not going to justify this with a response that's literally your job, homie. That's why we put you in there.
Yeah, it's not the muter of the house, buddy.
Yeah.
It's the speaker. Use your words.
Who am I to stand here in front of you and speak? The guy we elected you to. So,
and honestly, I don't know why we're not playing dirty back. Next discharge petition up is how the hell did you were you able to get guardianship over some black kid before you even had a bank account? Just make him start answering other questions too. Let's just rake these people.
Well, down in the South, we're still allowed to buy them. Like, you guys didn't know that? So we're running a tad bit late, and I told you at the start of the show that I got a banger for you that I just saw before coming online. And I just want to let you know that the U.S. has finally put on some new sanctions.
Ooh, big ones, right?
Yes. U.S. sanctions Palestinian rights groups for supporting the ICC Israel probe. The United States has added 3 prominent Palestinian rights groups, the Al-Haq, the Palestinian Center for Human Rights, and the Al-Mazad Center for Human Rights to its sanction list.
Peter Thiel is monitoring everyone who went to please stop dumping cement in our wells.org.
Yeah.
And you're all getting deported.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the rights groups were targeted for having directly engaged in efforts by the International Crime Court to investigate, arrest, and detain or prosecute Israeli nationals without Israel's consent. I don't know. I feel like that's how the law system works.
We ever get any word back on that chomo from Vegas that hit the bricks back to Israel either?
Let's see, what's that song back from the 90s? Natalie Imbruglia, I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away. Yeah, that's him.
Never ever gonna charge me.
I'm out there diddling kids, just like a president. Allegedly, well, I'll say.
Well, while this podcast was meant to be, allow us to get some things off our chest and feel better, I feel so much worse after reading all this.
Oh, but on the bright side, football's on today, and Jessie Pegula is currently playing in the, I believe, the semifinals at the U.S. Open. Started about a couple minutes back, so if it's anywhere close to 7 p.m. when you guys watch this, check out Jessie Pegula. Go Bills. I'm Alex Midway.
I just bought Ashton Genty shoes, and I'm Eric Halsey, so...
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.